Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
All right, my name is the most you.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos out in the street. Tacos, all you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, 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 yum. It's like a dream. Yum, 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 yum. Bring your sour cream.
Gotta love Taco Tuesday.
Love it. Tacos. Got my daughter making a taco truck run right now.
Excellent. We will be doing chicken tacos this evening. So something
Yeah.
something a wee bit traditional, shall we say.
Taco de pollo.
Taco de pollo. It will be good. We will have a good time.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Anyway, sir, how have you been? How was your weekend?
Let me think. I think I worked. Pretty sure I worked. And then we did some Mother's Day stuff. And it was not too shabby.
Mother's Day stuff, not too shabby. Not too shabby is a good thing.
Well, everybody kept asking me, did you get anything for your wife? I'm like, it's not wife's day. It's Mother's Day. That's my
Mother's
daughter's
Day.
job now. It's my daughter's
I don't
job.
know why. I don't know. You know, that is the thing. It's like, why do people always get that confused? It's like, look, on Wife's Day, which is basically every other day of the year,
Yeah.
I take care of the wife. On Mother's Day, you take care of the mothers, and you know,
That's it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I take care of my mother.
I funded it for my daughter, but it was her responsibility. So
Exactly. That's the way it's supposed to be. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know, the society in which we live, you know, you the man, so you the man with the wallet.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, if I funded it's not going to happen. So
Well, there you go. And she's although your daughter is kind of going to soon be getting to that age where she's going to be able to fund it herself.
that doesn't mean she's going to though.
Well, she doesn't, because she doesn't have to.
No.
Look,
Nope.
she's not. Look, the one thing I know about your daughter, she's no dummy. If she's got dad, she's got a bank account.
Yep. Yeah, it's the whole reason I got a job.
So are you a daddy daughter, or daughter daddy?
I never went in for the nail painting and makeup stuff, but I'd still say yes.
Yeah. I luckily made it out of that because my daughter really wasn't into the whole,
Yeah, neither was
doing doing the little makeup stuff when she was real little. And by the time she was old enough to do it, she was like, "Dad, don't be a weirdo. I don't want to. I'm not going to be doing my dad's makeup."
Yeah, exactly. Dad could do his own makeup. Yep.
there you go. These days.
Yep.
Well, it was funny because having done stage and done film, she has seen me have to get makeup before.
And all the practicing you do. So
No, I don't do any practicing. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's get ready to get into today's show. And you guys know how we started off. We always started off with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Get on over there, get yourself some AR barrels. They got rifle caliber, pistol caliber, anything you want, they got for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. They can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. Get yourself a nice little discount. If you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, fire, EMS, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you can get everything except the gun.
That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do us a favor, do them a favor, do yourselves a favor. Visit their websites. We make it real easy for you. All you have to do is follow the links in the description to this program. Go there, check them out, spend some money with them, and make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you're watching this program during the 3 o'clock hour on the West Coast or during the 6 o'clock hour on the East Coast, you are watching us live, which means we're taking your comments. Do us a favor. Give us a shout out. Say, hey, what's up? What do you let us know what you think about the program. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about. In fact, just be interesting is really the only thing that we ask. And the most interesting thing is when you disagree with us, because when you disagree with us, you give us the opportunity to mock you.
Oh, wow, is that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
And for those of you wondering, we don't do it because we want to be mean. We do it because it's entertaining, mostly to us.
And that's why God put people here on the planet, to entertain us.
To entertain us. You are all a part of a play put on for my benefit.
That's it. Exactly right.
Yeah, that used to be one of my big jokes. I used to love that one. But more and more I realize the joke's on me.
True.
Maybe
True.
that's just because I'm here in California, right?
It's all the makeup.
All the makeup. Anyway, moving right along. All right, folks. Interesting things going on right now in New York City. And this is an interesting one, largely because, we all know where a lot of this stuff is coming from. We all know that, let's just put it this way. We all realize that there are forces out there that are pushing an agenda. And the sad part about this agenda that they're pushing is they really don't care who they hurt as they push their agenda. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this particular story. And this has to do with the pro-Hamas chants and that erupted outside of a New York City, New NYC synagogue, and a rally that was promoted by Mandami and a Mandami-linked group. But here was the thing. The saddest part about it was that as a part of this whole event, some of the pro-Hamas, pro-Hezbollah protesters were actually attacking children who were trying to go to and from the synagogue there in New York. And here's some video kind of showing some of the stuff that happened.
What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? Fuck it, fuck up! Touch me, what are you doing? Let's go, motherfucker! Come on, motherfucker!
Shuffle,
Yeah, 9/11 also. Did you celebrate 9/11?
Are you celebrating 78 years of bloodshed? 78? Are you celebrating 78 years of bloodshed?
This is real video from
78 years
Gaza.
of occupation? Are you celebrating this?
Anyway, let's read a little bit of the article here. It says, chants of "We support Hamas and globalize the Intifada" erupted outside of a Queens synagogue Thursday at an anti-Israel event promoted by a Muslim group with extensive ties to New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Dozens of keffiyeh-clad activists appeared in Kew Garden Hills to protest an event to promote land sales. To promote land sales in Israel. Palestinian Assembly for Liberation (AUDA), a virulent pro-Hamas group, organized the protest against an Israeli real estate company it claims to be selling stolen Palestinian land. Muslim American Society of New York, one of the largest Islamic groups in the state, promoted the event on its social media account, and members of MAS's Youth Center posted live videos from the protest. Now, I guess the thing that bugs me the most here is, Mike, is this is if any other group, if a Christian group or a conservative group or any other group had organized something like this with this level of violence against Muslims, if they did this on the outside of a mosque, it would be on the front page of every newspaper in the country. And yet this got almost no coverage from anybody.
Yeah, it's pretty typical daily now going on in New York. Where'd this article come from? What
That was the
petition?
Washington Free Beacon.
Okay, Washington Free Beacon. So here's what gets me. And listen, about the Washington Free Beacon gets me about everybody else as well. There is no Palestine. Okay, there is no Palestinian land. There is no Palestinian country. You've got Israel and occupied Israel that they've allowed refugees to live in. So until they can correct that, and I know it's the Washington Free Beacon, story gets zero credibility for me. There is no such thing as Palestine. There has never been, there is not, and there will not be one.
Well, okay, so in this particular case, what they're reporting on is the fact that there is a group, and this is what they claim to believe in. And that doesn't necessarily, so reporting on something is not necessarily an endorsement of something.
I'm with you, but if we can't
Okay.
research the proper words, then I'm just not going to trust the rest of your article. And again, I can see the video and I know what's going on, and you're correct, Craig.
Right.
But I mean, if we can't take basic journalistic, formats and use them, then I'm sorry. Every time I hear somebody talk about Palestine, there's no such thing as Palestine. There is no Palestine.
Well, no, you would be 100% correct. There is no place. There are such things as Palestinians, but there's no such thing as Palestine.
Palestinians, yes.
And they're
also
only Palestinians because that's what they choose to call themselves.
Arab refugees, and not just refugees, but Arabs that have been thrown out of other Arab countries.
Yes, and are not welcomed in those countries because, once again, there is not a single country other than Israel that is willing to accept them. Lebanon
Check out the
did.
irony there. Huh?
Lebanon did, and we saw what happened in Lebanon.
Yep.
Lebanon used to be a bash. It used to be it was Christian, for example, in the same way that America is Christian. So in other words, it was not a theocracy,
Right.
but it was predominantly Christian. They allowed in a bunch of these refugees, and lo and behold, and now it's it's a place where you have a Lebanese government that can't even control, has another military force known as Hezbollah that is causing them problems.
Yeah, literally the definition of "there goes the neighborhood."
Yeah, it is. You hit the nail on the head. That's probably the best way to describe it. Is literally, there goes the neighborhood. Anyway, but that's what happens when you don't, when you're not careful about when you just say. How do I put this? The biggest issue and the biggest challenge and the reason why you have the Gaza Strip is because Israel realized they didn't want to have happen in Israel exactly what happened in Lebanon, and that is that these folks are going to come in, they're going to use terrorist actions, they're going to foment rebellion, revolt, until eventually everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and they're just not allowing them to do it. And you can't say that. And some people will say, well, they're creating an apartheid, but aside from Gaza, 20% of their population serve in the military, they serve in their parliament, they serve in their government, they're in the business community. I mean, they are, put it this way, if they are engaging in a genocide, they're doing a very, very poor job of doing it.
Yeah, it's not going well.
No, it is definitely not. It is definitely not going well if that is their end goal.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's another story that's interesting. A rifle-wielding maniac goes on a rampage in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And the craziest thing about this was this guy had already been convicted of shooting at cops, and basically wound up getting a very, very light sentence as a result of it, which put him back out on the streets so that he could turn around and go around and shoot at civilians. And this story being reported by the folks over at the New York Post. A rifle-wielding maniac was free to go on rampage thanks to sweetheart sentence. See, Massachusetts prosecutors scolded a judge over the sweetheart deal she handed a serial criminal, Tyler Brown, who is accused of opening fire on random drivers on Monday after he was convicted of trying to kill a cop years earlier. Brown, 46, pleaded guilty to armed assault with intent to murder in 2021, 1 year after he fired 13 rounds at Boston officers, including firing a .40 caliber Glock semi-automatic at close range at one officer's chest. Prosecutors recommended a 12-year prison sentence followed by 5 years of probation. However, Judge Janet Saunders handed out a 5 to 6 year sentence with 3 years of probation, despite the fact that Brown was already on probation in 2014 for a 2014 assault conviction at the time. The decision angered the district attorney, who apologized to the officers and blasted the attack as brazen. I am disappointed I'm disappointed in the sentence that was imposed, Rachel Rollins, the then Suffolk County District Attorney, said. Quote, members of law enforcement put their lives at risk every day to protect us. They serve us at times being unfairly criticized for acts committed by officers 1,000 miles away and felt and witnessed around the globe. So moving down here, I can say, the serial perp opened fire on Boston cops in May of 2020 after they responded to reports of a gunman threatening people. Neither officer was injured, despite Brown aiming at an officer's chest from close range. A cop caught up in the attack said in a victim statement, "I am a firm believer that when Mr. Tyler Brown gets out, he will hurt, or worse, kill someone." Brown had only been out of prison since January, William Gross, the Boston police commissioner, told reporters following Monday's erratic rampage in Cambridge. So in other words, here's a guy who basically first started off shooting at people, then decided he was going to shoot at cops. Got a 3-year sentence, right? Got a 3-year sentence. Now, by the way, he was already in jail on an assault conviction from 2014. He was on probation. So this was his second offense, and this time he not only shot at people, but then shot at cops, and only got 3 years. And now here he is out again, and wasn't out but a few months, and he decides he's going to go and start shooting at people again. If they didn't do it before, all right, common sense would tell you that you have all the evidence you need to know that they need to throw this guy under the jail.
Yeah, absolutely. And he shouldn't be the only one going there, Craig. At a minimum, this judge should be impeached from office. She should be removed from office for, she had her initial discretion when she let him out the first time, and everybody told her, can't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You're putting the community at risk. And it's exactly what she did. They should be charging her with either depraved indifference or culpable negligence and put her ass in jail right along with them.
Oh, I completely, and I would like for judges to be able to have discretion, but when you have judges who do stuff like this, right, you basically make it so that you can't give them that level of credibility. You just can't, because that's how guys like this wind up back out on the streets. I mean, you talk to law enforcement, you talk to any law enforcement expert, they'll tell you, we know who the violent people are. We know where they are. We know the people who are most likely to go out and shoot stuff up. They just can't do anything about it. They're just not in a position. There is a reason why in the 1990s, when they put in tough on crimes and they put in minimum jail sentences for people for various different crimes, there's a reason why crime went down year after year after year. That's because the people who were committing the crimes, the people who were doing, in particular, the violent crimes, they were in jail. They weren't getting back out in a year or two. They were locked up for long periods of time.
Yeah, Craig, I'll say this. Listen, the law enforcement officers, they have qualified immunity, right? Which means They're fine. They can't be held liable criminally or civilly as long as they don't break the law or violate the Constitution. The judge has absolute immunity. If she had qualified immunity, she'd be going to jail. She went outside her authority when she changed the sentencing guidelines. If a cop had done that, they'd have been fired and arrested. If she had qualified immunity, she'd be fired and arrested for this because she put the community at risk.
Yeah, no, you are 100% correct. Let's see here. So we have someone who commented on the last story. His name is Patel Sohail Sharif. He says, because in the 1940s there was Palestine. No, there wasn't Palestine. Palestine did not exist. It was not a thing, right? You need to go back and you need to restudy. You need to restudy your history, and perhaps you shouldn't read your history from Mother Jones. How about you actually go and look and read a book, read a book that was written by actual historians. Palestine is not a thing. It's not a place, right? It is not a place that has ever really existed. And even on top of that, one only need go back and look at the longest history books, the Torah and the Bible, and look at books that correlated and were written around those times, and you would then know that historically the place, not even the place where current modern Israel is, but a lot of the land around them was all designated or was all ancient Israel. So yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm just not buying it, Patel. Your understanding of history is false. And by the way, I would say during you got
Palestine has never been an independent
right.
sovereign country. It was a region governed by successive foreign powers, including the Romans, Byzantines, Muslim empires. The state of Palestine is recognized by many UN nations, but does not function as a sovereign state. Never been a country, is not a country now.
No, well, exactly, it's not. And he's just believing propaganda that has been sold to him.
Yeah.
Well, because, this obviously is somebody who seems to think that, going around saying things like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, not realizing that, that's actually jargon for they want to eliminate they want to eliminate all Jewish people. They obviously don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to acknowledge that they've actually had the opportunity multiple times, just in my lifetime, they've had opportunity multiple times to have their own country, to have their own nation. And every single time, those representing the Palestinians have walked away from the table. And the reason why they've walked away from the table is because they don't want a two-state solution. They want a one-state solution. And that one state is basically not Israel. They want Israel wiped off the map. And I am not going to begrudge a country for saying that, for wanting just literally one thing, and that is they want their right to exist to be acknowledged.
Yeah, I get no problem. Craig, I got a place for them right now. They can all go live in Atlantis. They can live in Atlantis together and flourish.
Over there with the Iranian Navy.
Yes, exactly right. They'll have all them ships to party on. Yep, party boats.
Anyway, moving right along. Okay. What is the fascination that Chinese spy seems to have with members of the Democratic Party or with Democrat politicians? Because here's another one. Now, mind you, it's not Seoul, but it does seem to be a pattern here from what I'm seeing. Have you ever heard of a woman named Eileen Wang, Mike?
Is she related to Ling Ling or Ming Ming?
You mean Feng Feng?
Feng Feng? Whatever.
Well, I don't know. They probably were in the same spy class together.
Gotcha.
Who knows? Anyway, well, she is a California mayor who recently has to resign after basically copping to a plea deal and admitting that she was a Chinese agent. It says here, former Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang has agreed to plead guilty to acting as an illegal agent for the Chinese government, federal prosecutors announced Monday. The admission places a sitting U.S. elected official at the center of a foreign influence case tied to undisclosed coordination between Beijing-linked officials. Wang, a Democrat who was elected in 2022, now faces up to 10 years in prison and has resigned from her post. Federal prosecutors are moving forward with the case while local officials assess the impact on the Southern California community. Now, let us not forget that there's not only was Feng Feng, there's also ties to what's her face, Barbara Boxer's office, Dianne Feinstein's office, and then you have Eric Swalwell, him and Feng Feng, who are also from California. Now I'm starting to see a connection here. Maybe it's not just a Democrat thing. Maybe it's just a California Democrat thing.
Yeah, it very much could be. I don't know if you noticed this mayor there in Arcadia. I think it was right, Arcadia.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yes, it's
never
Arcadia.
heard of it before, by the way. But not only did she, promote the People's Republic of China's agenda for them, she went back and forth with them and saying things like, "What about this? I think this would be good for you. What about this? This would be good for you." So she was coming up with her own things to promote on behalf of the PRC.
Well, you need to read, if you haven't had a chance to read it, you need to read the 100-Year Marathon. And when you do it, you'll come to understand just it was just how much the Chinese government has a long-term plan to infiltrate, to basically replace the United States as a global hegemony. They want to be the country leading the entire world. And their goal is not necessarily to do it militarily, but to do so politically and economically. Now, the challenge they're facing is that they're going to run out of people before they before they get to before they hit the end of their 100-year marathon. They're dealing with a serious population bomb there, where they just don't have the population to sustain their economy. They could literally be looking at economic collapse within the next 10 years. So they're going to fall probably about 20 years short of their 100-year goal.
Yeah. And I know a guy who's working on them losing their economy and watching it collapse.
Well, he's over there right now. He's over there right now, as a matter of fact. I mean, the other thing is, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the moves that President Trump is making right now, it's not just about the country that he's dealing with. It's not just about Iran. It's not just about Cuba. It's not just about Venezuela. But it's not just about Russia and Ukraine. This is about basically cutting off China from its partners, in particular from its oil partners, and holding them accountable, because, man, they have stolen hundreds of billions of dollars in U.S. Intellectual property in order to make their companies work. Innovation is pretty much gone there. The only innovation they have are those people who they can force to be innovative. Otherwise, they will, put them in some sort of a work camp.
Their innovation is stealing American property and copying it.
Yes. Well, now the one area where they have been kind of creative is the whole what's it called, tunnel and bridge initiative that they've been doing, where they're basically going around and loan sharking money to third world countries and then calling in the loans and then taking payment in oil and in precious minerals. Although they probably stole that from the mafia, huh?
That's kind of how it works.
Yeah, stole it from loan sharking and the mafia. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this next story you guys are going to love. So, you know that basically the Virginia Supreme Court decided that that basically the referendum that was passed in Virginia was unconstitutional, not because, and they didn't speak to whether or not the drawing of the lines and how they did it, as bad as it was, where they gerrymandered basically. They took a state that had six Democrats and 5 Republicans and drew it so that it would have 1 Republican and 10 Democrats. They didn't even speak to the constitutionality of that. They just talked about how there is a process that it takes in order to amend the Constitution, and they didn't follow that, so therefore they threw the maps out. So now they're going to the Supreme Court, not the Virginia Supreme Court, but they're going to the Supreme Court, and they filed a case with the Supreme Court in order to try and get the ruling of the Virginia State Supreme Court thrown out. And it turns out that their filing was full of a bunch of typos and errors. And a gentleman who we know very well, Mr. Nick Freitas, he did a little video talking a little bit about it. And well, let's just say I think he'll make his point made very, very good. You'll see how bad these typos are.
Hey, did you see this? What is it? Yeah, apparently the Attorney General of Virginia did a bunch of typos while he was trying to argue this case before the Supreme Court. Let me see that. Oh my gosh, he's actually going to do it. What are you talking about? He's going to have the case moved to Virginia. No, it's just a typo. Virginia is a mythical place where Jay Jones wins lawsuits with the help of his mighty centaurs. What is a centaur? Well, to explain what a centaur is, you have to go to Louise Lucas. She's actually the pro tem of all of the centaurs. It's essentially a senator and a centaur combined. And these centaurs are a real thing. Oh yes, a truly noble and majestic creature completely above reproach. And this resembles Louise Lucas. Oh, no, not at all. No. In the real world, she's being investigated by the FBI for bribery, probably fraud, corruption, any number of other things that nobody's really surprised about. Right. So let me see if I understand this correctly. In the mythical world of Virginia, the Attorney General, Attorney General, if you please. Pardon me, Attorney General. So in Virginia, the Attorney General just wins all his cases? Exactly. In Virginia, with the help of his centaurs, Attorney General Jay Jones is completely unstoppable. Okay. But like in the actual world. Oh, in this world? No, he's complete laughingstock. Constant embarrassment. We just pretty much have him play with his centaur action figures and just pray to God he's not texting anyone about murdering children.
I guess they were asking for it.
They were asking for it. Well, now keep in mind, this is the same guy who, when he was running for Attorney General, when he was, text messages had come out where he had basically talked about how he wanted to see someone, kill the Speaker of the Virginia's lower house, wanted to see basically the Speaker's, children killed. I'm like, what? Anyway, but that guy filed this brief.
He'd be smart.
He'd be smart. Now, and do I even need to mention that he's a Democrat?
Well, we just assume so. He's
we just assume so. I say, when I heard the first centaurs, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's one of the privileges of being the Attorney General.
The Attorney. No, it's Attorney.
Oh, Attorney General. Thank you.
The Attorney General. He is the Attorney General.
Of Virginia.
The Attorney General of Virginia. All right, folks. Well, hey, that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, one word. You're going to get your Hog Holster on discount. All right, this first one here is another commercial. I've been showing you guys the commercials from Mr. Spencer Pratt. Here's another one. Dude, AI is just, it's bad. It's just really bad. But it's hilarious. Check it out.
I'm Karen Bass, and I'm running on my accomplishments.
Los Angeles on fire. Mayor nowhere to be found.
We were so prepared for wildfires. I didn't even have to be in the country when the town burned.
I've addressed the homeless problem. Now, most of them won't stab you as long as you don't make eye contact. Our climate change policy is so strong, we've brought down energy use in the Palisades by 99%. Almost none of the needles in children's playgrounds have AIDS on them. If you like the last 4 years, you're going to love the next 4. Vote Bass.
That's pretty much sums up Los Angeles.
Now, Craig, I did not see any protests going on there. I mean, it appears to be a very peaceful place.
It appears to be a very peaceful place. That's because they killed all the protesters.
That's it. Yeah, they burned them to the ground.
All right, these next few are brought to you by our friends over at the Babylon Bee, fake news that you can trust. It says here, Karen Bass endorsed by California wildfires.
She's their best supporter.
She is their best supporter. Here's another one. Trump unveils plans to turn reflecting pool into humongous water park. I'm like, okay.
Wow. Did you write the Virginia complaint, Craig?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not an attorney though.
No. You just play one on TV.
I just play an attorney on TV. Oh, here we go. The View announces all new cast of angry middle-aged women. They okay, so they don't look like women, but they do look like the people who are on The View.
Yeah, they do.
I will just leave it at that. For those of you who are just listening to the program, you're just going to have to be okay with missing out on that joke, or go to the Babylon Bee and check it out for yourself.
Yep.
All right, folks, so that brings us to the end of our program. But before we go, we're going to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Let's say hi to our good friends over at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. They got AR barrels, they got rifle barrels, they got shotgun barrels, all kinds of pistol barrels. Check them out. Whatever barrel needs you have, they have got your answers. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, fire, EMS, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you get everything except the gun.
That's right, folks. Once again, please take a moment and visit our sponsors by following the links in the description to this program. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. We will be back tomorrow on Hump Day. Till then, y'all have fun, stay safe, and we will see you mañana.